Now then, we have happily arrived in Girne, and now we can look around and see what's interesting here. And the first thing which I see as interesting is the sea. The big nice blue Mediterranean. What do you think, friends? Do you like the Mediterranean Sea? I quite like it. I have seen it from many angles and countries. Is it safe to be here? It's not exactly a floating ice. But you know, it probably is question of time when, not if, this thing will move as well. You see that one? You can see how it happens. But I don't think it will happen today. It doesn't look like. And you see, there's some interesting castle or something. I'll have to look in the map. I didn't have, as usual, I didn't have much time to prepare and research. I yet still have to read more properly something about this place, about Northern Cyprus. I have read only here and then somewhere, here and there somewhere, some things. But I had, was it yesterday evening? Yeah, yesterday evening, because going to sleep. I'm not the only one who likes here. So yesterday evening before going to sleep, I marked in the map quite a few dots which seemed to be of interest to visit. So let's see. Let's open the map and find out what this thing is, and see what else interesting we can find here. Although we have to keep an eye on these clouds as well. Although it's quite warm and I have my raincoat with me. But we'll see. Maybe I'll take a walk now, because it will probably rain later today. And tomorrow I would like to spend exploring Famagusta if I can get there. I don't know still if it will be possible, but we'll find out. Okay, friends, let's go and start exploring while it's not raining. Well, I just found out that this thing is called Girne Kalesi. That's it, friends. Nothing more I can tell you. Google Maps in its offline mode doesn't say anything more. But I guess that Kalesi might be castle in English. It looks like it might be. This is cute. What do you think? Fruits sold from a piece of fruit. Nice. There definitely something is brewing. I even hear a thunder from time to time far away, and it's coming. What is this? Is it a tomb? Is it a house? Is it a, what do you call it, fruit cellar? Interesting. Let's look from this side. It's probably a tomb with some Arabic script on it, but very old Arabic. I can't even read it. Or is it very stylized, or how do you call it? I can recognize some letters, but I can't read it. Sorry, friends, but probably you won't find anything more interesting there. Muhammad somebody or Ahmed somebody, who knows. Is this a cemetery or what? Looks like it might have been a cemetery. Somewhere here should be Andrew's Church, although I don't see it. Can you hear the thunder? and I got my first drop on my head as well, so probably it will start. Although, where the clouds are going, it looks like it might miss us. It might go on the side, because it goes kind of that way. If it would come from there, we would definitely be wet in a moment. No, maybe it won't be that bad. Okay, North Cypriot cats. Hello, cat. Can you speak English? Yeah? Or no? Merhaba. What else can I say? Teşekkürler for your attention. I forgot all my other Turkish words I knew. Sorry, cat, sorry. Sorry. Oh, that man said sorry to me. I said sorry, almost kind of said, and he said sorry to me, but in English. So it obviously means that this is more touristic town where people speak English, at least few words. What do you think about this place? Is it nice? Is it pretty? Is it what? Dusty? I would vote for nice. And there, that is the Andrew's Church, St. Andrew's Church. Can we get on time? We can. From both sides, but all good. Huh. Private parking for church use only. In English even. Well, in the church could be English. It's only foreigners who use churches here, I think. It's quite small, but quite cute. Is it open? Is it not? Looks like it might be. No. Services every Sunday, every Tuesday. Ah, it's an Anglican church, okay. Makes sense. The British had left quite a big stamp. Stamp? Not stamp, what do you call it? They have signed this place basically. This place still drives on the left side from the British times, because Turkey drives on the right side. Here they drive on the left, the same way as I think I'll make one picture of it. So this was my picture. What do you think, friends? Good enough? Let's keep going. So yes, they drive on the left-hand side, like in Britain. Although the rest of the Turkey, the Turkey proper, drives on the right. Also, they use the British plugs for electricity, unlike the Turkey, which use the European plugs. What do you think of this wonder? Is that a beauty or what? Cool. Even the different number. And speaking about numbers, it's starting to rain slowly. Can I show you as well? Like this. Good enough. And speaking about numbers, it's quite funny. You see, this is the Greek-speaking Republic of Cyprus number, like the typical European Union number is. It starts raining already. But this is the Turkish side there is something in Turkish written, but that thing looks almost the same design as the European Union flag. And this is the Turkish number, the proper Turkey number, the TR. This is, I don't know, some diplomat? Nah, it doesn't look like a diplomat's car. And this is also the North Cyprus number. I think I need to go I need to go under that tree and get my raincoat out of my bag. What do you think, friends? You know what, friends, I was starting to untie my bag to get my raincoat out, but it kind of almost stopped already, and when I'm looking in the sky, it comes from approximately there, like this, and it looks like there is more lighter. Although no, it changed. Now it comes from there. So we'll get this thing on our heads, but there seems to be better. Let's wait for a moment. Maybe we won't need the raincoat. Let's look on the harbor. Maybe something else. What else can we look at here? Interesting place. Is it a fig tree? It looks like it is, but I don't see any figs on it, unfortunately. Leider nicht. There is some small mosque here as well. While waiting here, I noticed interesting thing. That's kind of eating place, and that is their toilet, and that is the wash basin. Cool. And this is a very touristy place, probably the most touristy place of this country. Nice. Yeah, it rains quite strongly, but it looks like it won't be for long. I didn't choose the right tree, to be honest. Let's go for that one. It became a little bit lighter rain, and this tree will be, yes, you see, completely dry under it. This will be better. Nice. Well, I don't know what's coming next after that, but this part looks a bit better than it was, which just came past us. But probably it might be more rain clouds after that. We'll see. We'll see. But I think it's good enough we can go for a little walk. Oh, we have some fisherman characters sitting here. Yeah, he looks like very kind character. Nice, nice. And there is that mosque. It actually isn't some small mosque, it's the mosque of this place. I just checked in my map. That's something old. Is this the entrance in it? Probably not. Or is it? No, it's not. Let's look around the corner. This one is closed, and there probably will be the entrance. Yes, yes. Ah, no. Okay, yes. Yes, yes. Here's even 2 liras, 15 cents or something. So,
Welcome. How are you?
good, yourself? All good?
Where are you from?
Latvia.
Lithuania?
Latvia. Latvia. Letonia.
Vilnius, Lithuania. Letonia?
Letonia.
Riga.
Uh,
Riga.
Riga. Yeah, evet.
Letonia. Capital city Riga.
Yeah, evet. I wonder what is it that people almost everywhere know Lithuania better than Latvia. And when I say Latvia, they always ask, is it Lithuania? But one of them even knew that Riga is capital of Latvia. So that's the place. Is this the clock? Yeah, these are the times for the prayers, the 5 prayers. Well, there are quite a bit more than 5 here. Sorry friends, I have no clue what it is. I have heard that, okay, that one is just the temperature. The first one is the date, then is the time now, the second row, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, which might be prayer times. In the last mosque where I was, they told me that Muslims have 5 prayers per day, not 6. I don't know what's the story with that. In any case, you can have a look. And in the last mosque where I was, in Levkosha, the man told me that up there, well, it was in the other place, but I think it's the same thing, although it's very small. That's the place for women. When they come to pray, women go up there, and it's their place, while men is filling all the ground floor. That's it. Teşekkürler. Artis. Yes, I can speak Russian too. Yeah. Вы говорите тоже по-русски. Хорошо. So, have a good day. Thank you. One of them even spoke a little bit of Russian, and he asked if I speak Russian too. Cool. See you, thank you, bye-bye. He was greeting me through that window even. I didn't see them from there, but they saw me. Is this beautiful or what? That's a crazy speed which they are doing in the port. Proper Turkish characters. Nice. And that is the same castle which we saw from above, from somewhere there far away. And I read in 3 places on internet that in this harbor they have free PCR tests, but I somehow don't believe them. Why should they be giving it for free when they can charge their 15 Turkish liras, which is something like Euro 20 or something? But I still can't believe even that price. Can it be €1 20 for PCR tests? Ah. In some places it's 120 euros. Oh, there was some lightning. And there's some small, barely visible rainbow. Can you see it? Maybe not. But that's the castle. What was it in Turkish? Kelesi? No, I forgot it already. Just rewind this video a little bit, you'll hear it. But anyway, the place is nice. The old, authentic, beautiful in that regard. Not polished and touristy, where everything is unreal. I wonder, can I get in that castle where the people are getting out without paying anything? Let's find out. It looks a bit too official, but still, let's try and walk in. Maybe that will be the ticket office and that's how far we get. Well, depending on the price, maybe in this kind of country it could be cheap. And that's the boat which just got out, and the rainbow. Cool. Of course, bilet. €2.20 or 50 was it? Next time, friends, next time. This is beautiful. Oh, and there are even 2 rainbows. That's cool. And there's a cat who doesn't like rain. He was saying meow, meow. I can understand him. That's cool. Ah, it's solidly raining again, although the most clouds are away. Let's go here for a moment. That's an interesting way how to lock down the place so it doesn't get robbed. There are no doors, but there are roof which you lower down on these things, and here you have the same. So basically you have all your lines coming up here and going to all 4 corners, so that this thing is lifted up and put in those hooks. So it probably stays there while somebody is working here selling drinks or whatever they're selling here, shashliks. And now it is locked. Interesting. So friends, it looks like it's a bit better again, but probably not for long. We'll live and see. There was a cool music blasting out of this place in front of you, just in the center of your screen. But they announced the prayer hour from the mosque. So probably because of that, it's now off. It's silent. So, let's go. And these streets are quite nice. I like them, these stones. They're beautiful and very practical as well. Well, practical. Low maintenance. But they're quite slippery, especially with Crocs. Have to be careful, guys. What do you think, guys? Should I peek in the same place during the prayer time? Or is it too crazy? Interesting. It's the first time I see it with my own eyes. That's how looks a small part of the Islamic prayer, the Salat. And they were saying only few words, Allahu Akbar. Well, they said Akbar, but as far as I know, in Arabic it should be Akbar, Allahu Akbar, which means God is great, or God is mighty, or something of that sort. So they used very few words, and the funny thing was that I understood all of them. Can you believe it? And this, I think, must be the church of Panagia Chrysopolitissa, if I pronounce it correctly. That's the Greek name. Nice. And nice. Cool. And what about this thing? Will it be open? Oh, come on, guys. I forgot which part of the Cyprus I'm in. It is open, but it also is like it was after the bombing of 70s, I guess. Yeah. This is how it works. Will I get something on my head? Probably not. Huh. That's probably what was left after the bombings when the Turkish army invaded in the 70s. I always forget, what was it, 74 or 76? One of those years. You see the beautiful wood carvings in these joists. Not bad. And this was the altar. Probably. Yeah, definitely. Not much left of this church. What do you think, Birdie? This is a beautiful house. Very old one.
Evet.
And there's the harbor from the other side. And somewhere here behind that corner must be Archangelos Michail. No, probably Archangelos Michailos. Don't know. Michael anyway. Church. Oh yes, and there it is. And these colors are already very Greek-y looking colors. So it's already kind of reminding me of Greece more than Turkey. And this is quite big. So that's the eastern part, so that must be altar. And there we should be able to look for an entrance. But it's not always. Yeah. What is it? Temporarily closed due to restoration. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You really want us to believe in that? Restoration. This is what you call restoration, right? Is there an entrance? Probably not. There is some cafe. So I guess that's the main entrance in this case. On the side of the nave, not on the western end. Restoration, you call it, yeah? When something is bombed and destroyed and left in that destroyed condition, that's what you can call restoration. It looks nicer, it sounds nicer, rather than saying, come on guys, we bombed this place and we don't care about it, we just left it as it is. Restoration sounds better. And what's here? Yeah, that's definitely nothing to do with that church. And it looks to me that this church doesn't have any roof as well. But unfortunately, we can't get in due to the restoration. So that you know, friends. Come on. It reminds me of Soviet time repair or renovations. Remont in Russian. When you write with big letters, probably with some white chalk paint on the window, Remont, and then you can leave the place for months like this and everything's fine. because you don't have to make any money, do you? It's not mine, it's ours, as they said in Soviet time. Ours means belonging to Soviet people, meaning to nothing, to nobody, and nobody cares. So this is the same kind of restoration which probably goes on since the 70s. And you saw that sign. It wasn't put yesterday, nor even last year. It might be here from the 70s when they bombed it. Good job guys. I believe your restoration efforts. If you'll continue guys in the same kind of speed which you are doing things, after 2 centuries more, this crack, this one, will already be repaired from here to there. Well, maybe to there after 300 years. And I'm not speaking about new cracks during those years. Anyway, fun is fun, but it's also sad how things get moved around and switched around, destroyed and changed hands because of some armies, politics, and national hatred, which is being artificially generated by the big guys who needed this result of division and hatred. Yeah, as they say, as long as you have patriotism in people's hearts, there will be no peace on this earth. And of course, how can there be peace on this earth if everybody thinks that one of all the 200 countries is the best one just because he was born in that country? If you love one country and one person, why wouldn't you love all the other persons and countries? Or even more, what are countries, if we think about it? It's just borders of political influence spheres of the governments. And what this has to do with people, with us? Nothing really. Just problems with passport control, immigration, customs, and hatred and wars in the worst case. It is needed for politicians, for governments, not for people. And speaking about patriotism and even more nationalism, Jesus said one interesting thing about it. Love your neighbor as yourself. And if we look how that sounds and feels in the Greek language, I'm probably not risking to be very wrong if I'm saying love your neighbor as yourself, meaning your neighbor who is also yourself. You are one, made of the same stuff, by the same hand of Creator. And when he said, love your neighbor as yourself, what does it speak about countries? Love your neighboring country as your own. It's the same thing. Exactly. And imagine what would happen to Abraham if he would be a patriot of his own fatherland when God told him to leave that land because of the promised land which God wants to give him. We would have no Old Testament today, and probably no New Testament either, because that's the place where Jesus came as well. If Abraham would have been a good patriot. I think patriotism and nationalism even more is just a little bit stretched out form of egotism. Basically what it says, if I'm complete hopeless egotist, I'm caring only about myself. I love only myself, and I probably even kind of hate everybody else because I'm the only one whose life matters. I love only myself. I'm complete egotist. Then some people get over this phase or this level of, what do you call it? That kind of state of mind, yeah? Of perfectly individual egotism, loving only yourself. And then they love not just myself, not just themselves, but also their family and maybe even their friends. So that's a bit stretched out egotism. I love not only myself but also mine, which is mine. My wife, my children, and my best friends. In other words, I love myself and what is mine. A bit stretched out egotism. A bit better, slightly. And then, when people get even more developed, how can I say it? Well, they start to make friends with their brain and consciousness a little bit. Then they happen to stretch out their egotism even more. And then they love themselves, their wives, their children, their friends, and their nation or their country. But in essence, it's the same thing. You love what is yours, and you probably hate or dislike or probably just don't care. That's beautiful. Don't care about everybody else who is not yours, not your country, not your nation, not your language, not your traditions, not your family and friends. And what is it if not just egotism? Just a little bit beautiful, more polished version of it. You can find more people who would agree with you, because if you said suddenly that you are the only important being on this planet and everybody else could die tomorrow and you wouldn't care, then you would basically make enemies of everybody, because nobody will like this, because everybody is on that other side who is hated. But if you make your nation or country that your circle, which you love, and everything else you hate or don't care about, then you have more. In case of Latvians, you have maybe around 2 million people who also like what you think because you like them, because they are one of yours, your people, your compatriots. But what about all the other billions of people Are they less loved and lovable by God? Are they less God's creation? Are they less important and equally precious as you and your country? I think we don't need a long time to think about it, to come to terms that any kind of patriotism and nationalism is something which God would never get involved in. Because He loves all people. Whole world is His and loved by Him. How can I say that I love my people, Latvians, and don't care about all the others who are equally created by God? I do get there is a slight, small, little, tiny portion in that patriotism which is useful and good, and that is that part that you take care about your home and you scythe the nettles from your backyard. That's nice, that's all good. To love your home in that way, that's good. But the only problem is that Jesus said to love your neighbor the same level. No more, no less, as yourself. So, if we take that seriously, there is not much room for patriotism, and therefore not much room for wars and conflicts. But my only question is, who takes that seriously? You can count those people. There are not many. Anyway, that was my off topic. But what do you think about this place? Isn't it beautiful? Friends, isn't this beautiful? I'm happy that I'm not just loving Latvia and liking my own fatherland. If I liked it too much, meaning only it, I would never be here and enjoy this wonderful place. It's amazing. What a beauty. Friends, let's enjoy it a bit. What's that? FS? It's Ephesian beer? Or what is it? Looks like a beer. Beer which is made in Ephesus? I've never been in Ephesus yet. It's in Turkey, today's Turkey. But I probably would like to go there one day. There are a few archaeological sites, and it would be interesting also to visit that place where lived those people to whom Paul wrote that letter which I have read so many times. But here I find Ephesus Ephesian beer. Probably in today's Ephesus they make beer. It's a bit crazy. Muslim country which drinks beer. Since when, people? Since when? And this is probably how the Turkish Cypriots were catching fish on the old days for a living. I like that dude who's sitting there. And this is how new today's Turkish Cypriots are catching fish today for fun, not for a living. I was enjoying the sky so much that I didn't notice how many of these dudes are here. Crazy. You are really many, my friends. That's so nice of you. They have some funny voice. La Beauté. You see that small booth? I don't know what is it, but some kind of security booth. And I just was passing it, and it was funny. That man was trying to switch something on and off, some smart device of some sort, who knows what. And it was amazing amounts of small things. And so it was funny, language-wise, that the Turkish-speaking Cypriot was trying to switch on or off some device which was speaking to him in English with like bad quality recording, cheap kind of electronic sounding thing in English with obvious, really obvious Chinese accent, as they call it sometimes, Chinglish, which is kind of English theoretically, but it sounds more like Chinese, and you have to hear it 3 times to recognize that it's actually English, not Chinese. I didn't record it, sorry. You would have a good laugh too. But I can at least tell you about it. What do you think about this kind of street? Is it nice? Not bad. Quite cozy. And what do you think about these kind of names? Example Limited. It reminds me of those website addresses that enter the website address example.com or name.surname at example.com. Nice, why not? I had a friend who had email address which was username at, and I won't say the second part, otherwise you'll be writing to him. But his name was username. Ah, that's nice. And actually, this place, it had some name. What was it? I just looked it up. The name was Bandabulia. I have no clue what is Bandabulia. The square, one of these cafes, one of the historic houses around, but on the map there was marked a tourist object called Bandabulia, and it is somewhere here. Well, kind of nice. Well, friends, it turns out I can tell you what is Bandabulia. You see, old bazaar. So obviously it was some market, bazaar, probably some centuries ago. Can I get in? No. How naive of myself to expect to be able to get in. Although from that side it looks like the door is open. And there's another door here as well, which will probably also be locked. Of course. Let's go around. So that's the same place. Old Bazaar, Bandabulia. And this is open. So friends, it wasn't actually altogether that naive of me to think that I might get in here. But to be honest, even when I got in here, what's there to see? A slight bit maybe. Looks like they have used old rigging for making this new renovation of the old bazaar. Yeah, why not? I don't know what they do there. Play table football? Have some gatherings or banquets or... I don't know, friends. You can Google it if you want. But they definitely have water, and that's nice. Interesting that in this country they have stop signs. In Turkey they have dur, and dur means stop in Turkish as far as I know. And in Latvian dur means go faster. Well, basically it is the movement which you do with a needle to, what do you call it in English? To push the needle in. That means durt, and dur means do it. But we often use that term for saying go faster, get on it. Dur. Anyway, that's opposite of Turkish dur sign. And here, yes, I see it already, and you see it already. In my Google Maps there is a thing which says the Round Tower. And yes, here is a sign which says the Round Tower. And you see? Oh, it's in English and it's in Russian. So these are the two probably most popular languages which are spoken here by tourists. Oh, you see this thing? That's cool. The mailbox, the letterbox for the post. It's the typical British cast iron letterbox, but in Britain it is red. In Ireland it is exactly the same, but green. Of course, everything is in Ireland in green. And here in Cyprus, guess which color it is here? Of course, yellow. Here everything is yellow, half deserty. Makes sense, guys, makes sense. Well, what do you think about this round tower? It's so big I can't get it in my camera. Is there any entrance or something, whatever, besides some soldiers? There is something resembling an entrance, and of course no photographs. Yeah, of course. Guys, do you want to tell me that this also is a military object which shouldn't be photographed? Yeah? Guys, you are stuck in some 16th century of Ottoman Empire probably, if you're trying to say me that this is some military object which shouldn't be photographed. It's quite nice inside. And you know, friends, isn't life good? I was starting to think that I want to eat something after a good while of walking. And here you see, there is a bazaar or souk or market or whatever other name it might have, but some place where a lot of things are sold. And usually around these places are the cheapest and often quite nice eating options. Let's find out. And this country, by the way, might be as cheap that I could actually afford not just to buy some products like fruit or whatever, but also to have some kebab maybe, some properly Turkish stuff. And you see, there is kebabi, Adana kebabi from Adana. That's the place where I was in airport. And what does it cost? 35. 35. It would be how much? Like €3? Not exactly crazy cheap. But if it's huge, and if that would be enough for the rest of the day, I might actually go for it. Let's find out. That was good, friends. I couldn't probably say it was the most healthiest food I have eaten, obviously, especially that Coke. I don't remember when was the last time I drank Coke. But since I do it so rarely, why not? What can I say, friends? Turkish really know how to make kebabs. That's a universally known truth, isn't it? And everything was tasty. It was really tasty. It was quite a bit spicy, not crazy spicy, but good way, in a good level spicy. And that purplish looking thing, like, I don't know, what was it, like swede or radish or daikon or turnip or something of that sort, some brassica type root. That was very tasty, but those chilies were I took a small bite in one and I thought, which direction should I run? But actually, when I was eating the whole thing together, I managed to get in 3 of those chilies because I was curious, how much can I tolerate them? Well, out of the, I don't know how many, 7 or 10 of them, how many there were there, I managed to eat 3. And it was good, it was really good. Okay, friends, let's go and see where our hostel is, because it is already evening, not yet dark, but not far from that as well, and I am quite tired, especially in my ankle, and the most important, I need to be in hostel early enough so that I have enough time for work, so that I don't go to sleep too late at night once I'm finished everything, because I want to wake up quite early in the morning and try to reach that Famagusta city or town and have enough time to explore there. It will be bigger than this city. So friends, let's go and look for the hostel. It's actually funny, you walk and you suddenly see, green grass, what's that? And of course, it's an astroturf. It's not a real grass. Although you can find some real grass as well. So it's not that bad. It's not that dry. And the rains will start now, so I presume that in the middle of winter everything might be quite green here, but I don't know. I haven't been here in the middle of winter. Neither in any other... Well, I have been in Malta in December, but no, it wasn't green there. So, I don't know, friends. Really? They have such thing as well here. And of course with a dog to guard the whole operation properly. Okay. Every cloud is said to have a silver lining, or gold I should say probably. Well, my screen doesn't really show that gold tone. It's more silverish on my screen. Okay. Let's forget what I said. I'll remember it because I saw it with my own eyes. But for you, you'll have to imagine. And you know what was funny in that kebab place? Wow, that's something beautiful. Yeah, I can't zoom it close enough. Okay, forget about it. Well, maybe don't forget if you saw it. This must be a tourist park or tourism park. And behind that must be my hostel, which I have already booked for 2 nights. So let's go here. After seeing mosques who are well and alive, and some of them are in buildings which previously were churches, and seeing those bombed churches which are left without roofs since the 70s, with the notice that it's in restoration, of course. After all that, imagine what happened in that kebab place. I was eating my kebab and I suddenly noticed the music which is playing in that kebab place in the loudspeakers was something familiar. And yes, it was that song, Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name, holy is the name. What about that? Isn't that crazy? Bombed churches, big clashes, and you go into a proper center near market in a kebab place and you hear about Jesus, who is Lamb of God and whose name is worthy to be praised. Nice. Well, I should add probably here something, just in case. Please don't take any of what I'm saying as of competition or hatred mongering between religions. If the best thing a religion can do is that it can help you to establish relationship with your creator, then the worst thing religion can do is to cause clashes, conflicts and even wars between people of different religions. And because of that I'm very careful not to speak in such ways which somehow fosters or promotes competition between religions. And when I just said these things, it was just funny observation, nothing more. But when I said it, I just thought, maybe what I just said could have effect which I didn't want. So, just in case if you felt that kind of effect, please delete what you just heard of your memory, if you can. Well, here you can see this is an area where New buildings are being built, and you see this thing. I like that so much. When you can have, even in a small backyard, citrus trees growing, having your own oranges and mandarins and figs and whatnot. Amazing. Nice palm trees, and I think it should be, I see the end of this road already. Yes, yes, that is it, you see? Sunshine Resorts, and it looks very cool, not like my usual hostels, but as far as I understand, that this company has also you see, new Kyrenia, so it's probably not offending to call this place Kyrenia if they are using it as their name. And here on the side entrance should be hostel, which is probably the cheapest part of the same building. Hosting flats. Whatever. Let's see. Hello, is there a hostel?
Hello. Yes.
Yes, I have a reservation for 2 nights. А вы на русском разговариваете, да?
Да.
Я тоже.
Здорово. Проходите, стульчик, вот
Uh-huh. It's quite a nice place. Everything is new and clean, and actually this probably isn't even some cheaper version of the side something. It's a pretty much front main balcony. Everything is new, everything is clean. All the staff and owners speak Russian. They're from Russia and other ex-Soviet countries. Interesting place, but nice place. How far does this balcony go? Okay, here you can dry some stuff. Beautiful. And beautiful. I'll try to show you something else as well. That's clever. Hello.
Hi.
That's one crazy downpour. Well, crazy. It's not tropical. But quite big for me. So friends, I'm in a funny adventure now. I need to get a PCR test for one special reason. I don't do it often, but I heard it's very cheap here, and I got, well, I'll tell you later what I got and why I need it. Anyway, I'm looking for a PCR COVID test, and I asked Google. Google showed me one lab. I went there, and of course they're not making PCR tests, they're making just antigen tests. I was asking them where can I get if they know a place where I could get a PCR test, and they said, well, they didn't speak almost any English. The girl who said she speaks English, she speaks only 5 or 6 words, and the rest is in Turkish. So it wasn't easy to understand. She was saying something and something and something, and at the end she said bye bye. I couldn't get any information out of her. She kind of tried to help, but then she decided that she doesn't care that much. Then I looked some other places. I don't have internet either, so I looked in some other places which I had in my map stored offline, and I found another laboratory. I went there, and that was even a hospital and laboratory. I went in, and there as well, very professional young people, but no English. They said, and I asked if they speak Russian or German or something at least. No, nothing, just Turkish. So I was asking about PCR tests there. They said no PCR, only antigen. Okay, I was asking if they know a place, and he said there is some place which called Colon Hospital. And I was asking if he can show me on the map. He was trying to figure out, but he couldn't figure out which is south and which is west. And he couldn't find it on the map. And map search didn't work because I don't have internet. So he told me showed me with gestures that I have to go right. I did it. And then he said, Cafe Nobir. And again he's showing right. So I understand that I need to turn right to go to the Cafe Nobir. And then I need to turn right again. And he was kind of showing like a V-shape junction from the gestures I understood. And I think this looks like a V-shaped junction. I can show you a little bit maybe. Oh, you won't see probably much, but I don't want to go out in the rain. No, my phone gets too wet. Don't want to do it. I will stay here. So anyway, this looks like a V-shaped junction. It goes there and it comes here. So I was kind of thinking, could this be the place where I make the second turn to right? And then I noticed, and I was looking for this Cafe Nobir, I don't see any Nobir. And then I noticed this thing, Cafe number 1. And then I thought, could it be that in Turkish bir means 1? And I kind of remember from my earlier Turkish experience, which was very short, only one day in Istanbul. But I kind of remember that bir means 1. You're probably laughing about me, but I because I don't have internet, I can't Google. Well, if it would be seriously important, I would ask people, but since it's rain, everybody is somewhere inside. But I could catch somebody, like that man who just came in, and I could ask, is it Nobir? But I'm pretty almost sure that number 1 is Nobir. Bir is 1. No bir. So let's try our luck somewhere here. And I can also ask for Colon Hospital. Maybe somebody will know. Let's see if I can find it. Now friends, I'm one step further. I went into this shop and I was asking. I got a confirmation that this number 1 really is no bir. Bir means 1. So good job. I figured out that one. But then I asked how to go to the Colon Hospital, and he pointed me back to this cafe, then left, and then near one bank on the right side will be hospital. And I'm figuring out that, that's the hospital which I just came from. And I was asking again, is it a colon hospital? And he said, oh no, that's another. It's not a colon, it's a different hospital. So he said, for colon hospital, I need to go in this forest, which you see in front of me, then through it to the left, and then on that road, and then somewhere later I will need to turn right. So we'll see, maybe we'll get there one day. Well, I just did what he said and I ended up here. It doesn't seem to be getting us through this place. This rain is just getting stronger and stronger. You see these rivers. And I still have no exact clue where the hospital is. I'll maybe go into that shop and ask if somebody knows. I found a man in that shop who was looking at me like I'm crazy to walk around in this weather. So probably it is not so typical for Cypriots as well to see such sights. So, and he said that I should go this way, straight, and to the end of this road. Now let's see how I can cross these rivers. My Crocs are already full with water, so no problem with that. But luckily it's quite warm, so it's not a big problem that I just pour out my my Crocs, pour out the water and continue to go, basically. So he said this road to the end and then left. So at least, hopefully, we are getting closer. Can you believe it, my friends? Where we got finally. That's the colon hospital. Well, let's hope that they have it. Yeah, some serious stuff going on. I think you hear it too, did you? Can't imagine that you wouldn't hear it. So, yeah, I learned also a few more things. That Turkish use the word pardon from French, which means excuse me. So funny, French is quite used in some places, like in Bulgaria and Armenia. They use merci. Well, they don't quite pronounce merci with a, but they say merci. They use as thank you. Imagine, Bulgarians and Armenians, they say merci. Cool. They have their own words as well, but they use merci quite often. So, now I was asking, pardon, colon hospital. Do you know where is colon hospital? So, not to scare them away with my English, so I start with pardon, colon hospital, with big pauses between the words. So they understood what I'm talking about, and then I said, do you know where is colon hospital? So that gives the message that I speak English, just in case they would speak English, but in most cases it doesn't happen. Anyway, let's stop talking and let's try our luck here. I hopefully will be lucky with this one, because there are already 2 places which said that this should have PCR test. You see, friends, there is something about PCR. I hope this means in Turkish that I can make it here, not that they don't do it here. Let's find out. Hey friends, you can congratulate me. I am one happy man now. This place, the staff even spoke English, not not excellent English, but oh, we can understand each other. That was nice. I don't speak excellent English either, so that's all fine. And they did PCR test. I made the sample, gave them the sample, and it cost only €8.50. Hey friends, can I make some quiz contest? What do you call it? When who can tell me the lowest price of PCR tests they have got? To me, the best price I got was in Macedonia, I think, and it was, I think, 15 euros or something, and that was cheap like crazy. I have made some other tests and I have seen some other prices which I didn't want to make. And here 8.5 euros is test, so it was definitely worth for what I will be doing, and I'll tell you later what I will be doing. With all that thing together, it will be very cheap together. So that's part of the package in my case, that I needed to do this stupid test. But the test was also good. I can definitely recommend these guys to your friends if you want. It's not only cheap, it's also useless. Well, I shouldn't be saying useless, probably. That's not correct. I don't want to make them bad reputation. They're good ones. I like them, and I want all the clients to go to them because they're so good. You know, sometimes, like for example in Portugal and in Zagreb in Croatia, they made this test really properly. They scraped all my insides of the brain through the nose, through both nostrils and the throat, and seriously, they just dig into me to get every single piece of COVID out of me for their testing. But in Macedonia and here, they're taking it very easy. In Macedonia it was only just a little bit in the nose. But here that was good. They put the stick into my mouth, slightly, little bit. Basically they got sample of my breakfast, not of my COVID. And then they put it in only one of my nostrils, but barely in, not even deep inside. And like a quick, can I show with my raincoat? Like this kind of movement. Okay, go. Finished. Nice, guys. So it's definitely top the charts of most painless COVID tests I have done. And cheapest as well. And I already know what will be result when they do tests like this. They probably have the order from above not to have many positive results in the testing. But other countries are different. Like every country has different politics. There are countries which try to make their numbers lower. Like what I have heard, like North Macedonia, Russia, Albania. These countries which try to live during the COVID, not try to cause lockdowns and then cause the money making machine to go brrr. And all the loan giving institutions who give loans to governments go wow. So they want to live, and that's why they are making their numbers to look lower, and that's why they're doing these tests in this way. At least as far as I have heard. I am not a medical specialist myself, so I can't tell for sure, but that's what I hear from everybody. But there are other countries who are more geared towards, well, basically, according to my understanding, whose governments are bought or somehow coerced, or I don't know, by the big guys to milk big money out of these countries. So these countries have to do these lockdowns, and because they do lockdowns they have to pay people money for sitting at home, and because of that, since all the economy is literally killed, slaughtered in a couple months' time, then these governments have to take big loans. And of course, if they have their agenda by the big guys that this country has to make a big loan because there are a lot of money in that country to milk out of it, because of that they need to make many lockdowns to borrow a lot of money. I mean, the government need to borrow a lot of money, and to justify all that stupidity in people's eyes, they need high numbers of COVID illnesses, and that's why they make tests in such a way that the numbers are higher. And of course there are other things which they do. When you get in the hospital with a broken leg, they write it as a COVID and so on. And if you die because you fell from a balcony, but neighbors said you were sneezing before you died, they said it was COVID, and you are in the statistics of COVID deaths. But anyway, don't take this too seriously, friends, because I'm just ranting about stupid things which I hear from everybody, and I really don't know if it's true or not. So yeah, I can imagine it's true, but I don't know, of course, and nobody knows, and nobody will tell you. Of course. Who will tell officially that government has agenda to borrow a lot of money and to milk all the country for the next decades, for all the other later generations to repay it for the big guys who saw the possibility, the opportunity. Okay, let's not talk about these things too much. I was probably saying already what I shouldn't be saying. Anyway, friends, I'm very happy with my COVID test and very happy with everything how it turned out, and the rain is almost stopped as well. It's just a little bit there, so I'll get something to eat. Well, don't think please that I'll be getting this alcohol. No use of that thing, but there's also some food, so I'll get something to eat, and I'll think what I do next today. Do I go to Famagusta today or tomorrow? I still need to decide what will be easier. Neither will be very handy, but I definitely want to get there. I'll think about it, friends. So friends, as funny as it may sound, I did decide to go to Famagusta or Magosa today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow the weather is forecasted to be even worse than today, and I won't have any other options to get there. I'm leaving tomorrow already, this country. And also tomorrow it would be very, strategically it would be very good idea for me to not be tired tomorrow evening. Yes, no problem, thank you. That was the administrator of the hostel. A nice lady, very helpful. So, basically what I was starting to say, that it would be a good idea not to be too tired tomorrow evening. And because of that, and also because of the weather forecast, I decided to go to Famagusta today. I still have a good amount of time, even though I wasted quite a bit by looking the place for the PCR test, and it wasn't the straightest way how I got there, as you know. But it's all good. I should have enough time, I think. It probably will be dark when I'll be back, but it's safe and nice here, so I don't bother as long as the buses are still coming. So basically I will see you probably on this same Girne video after I am back, probably tomorrow. We'll see, whenever I see something worth showing you. But I will make a separate video for my trip to Famagusta, or Magosa, I think they pronounce it in Turkish. And I'll see you there as well. So, good morning my friends, for the last time from city of Girne or Kyrenia. I just left my hostel. There it is. It was a nice hostel, really nice. Recommended, if I can recommend you anything. And I will be now going to Famagusta or Magosa, depending which language you want to call it. And yeah, see you in that video or some other video. But I think for Girne or Kyrenia it is time to finish this video about this wonderful place, which unfortunately got spoiled in terms of weather. But as you of course understand, that's weather. It's just now. It won't be always like this. And it isn't typical, these kind of rains and floods. And even now it is kind of okay. It is a little bit raining only. So I'm quite happy about it, and hopefully it won't get worse today. Alright friends, see you in some other video. And have a good day, or evening, or morning, or whatever have you. Have it good. All the best friends.